Will you be watching with a close eye on the 31st on Halloween when he fights Leo Santa Cruz?
Oh, absolutely. I'm a big fan of Team Davis and their, everything that they're doing. Calvin Ford is doing a great job over there. Tank took advice of his promoter and Floyd and came out to Vegas and has been training and he cut the weight. So, of course I'm gonna be tuning in. And then with Leo and his dad and Leo staying focused, even, his dad going through the things that he's going through, so shout out to his dad and his family and hope they're going, getting through these tough times and also being positive and winning this fight that they're in, as well as Tank and his team. So I'm going to be tuned in for sure.
How do you expect that fight to play out? I'm leaning more with Tank to win the fight. Initially, you want to listen to reporters and you watch YouTube and you see all the things and hear that he might be having problems or issues with the weight. But I've as me watching through social media and seeing him cut the weight and see his, how serious he is. I'm gonna go with Tank.
My gym is in Riverside. What's up? Davis versus Santa Cruz. Going versus Santa Cruz.
Gervonta Davis and Leo Santa Cruz. It's actually going to be at 130 now. They're doing like what they did with Sugar Ray Leonard and Donnie Milan back in the day.
Right, they fight for 2 titles, yes.
What's your thoughts on the 2 titles thing and then the fight itself and the breakdown, if you don't mind?
Yeah, I was kind of confused on how they was going to do that with the 2 titles. Whether, because I know Gervonta, is wants to fight at 135 and Leo is at 130 because he's the belt holder at 130 and Gervonta is at 135. So I was wondering how they was going to do that. But, now that you clarified that they're going to fight at 130, I think it's going to really help Leo a lot that they both have to win 130 because Leo he's a guy who doesn't have trouble making that weight, but Gervonta does. And, and that's going to make it tough for Gervonta to fight at 130 pounds again. That's going to be tough for him. And I think that's going to make Leo feel better and make him take more chances at they come in at 130. And that's going to be, it's going to be a tough fight on both ends. I know Gervonta is the stronger fighter. And probably, he probably has a little bit more experience than Leo. But Leo has something that everybody wish they had in that he can box. And it doesn't matter if he's right-handed or southpaw, it doesn't make a difference. And I just think that, it depends on how Leo fights this fight. If he stays on the outside in boxing, he has a great chance. But Gervonta cuts the ring out pretty good, and and he's a body puncher too. So that could be bad trouble for Leo if Gervonta starts landing those hard body shots along with just his total strength. Mm-hmm. So, and Leo's not known to be a power puncher, but a good boxer. That's the reason why he has 4 more titles tied to his belt right now. So, tough fight, man. Really, really tough fight. And, again, all the intangibles for each guy have to come into place in order for them to win. So, I can't pick a winner just right now.
Tank or Leo? Honestly, I don't know. Honestly, I wish both of them luck. Whoever wins, I'll be more than happy. Let me tell you why. Because if I tell you Leo's going to win, remember, Leo comes from 122 pounds to fight at 130. Okay? He's a consistently, nonstop forward fighter. Okay? Tank has fought at 130, 135. He's heavy. I don't know in what conditions he's in, but I mean, if Tank comes in at 100%, I don't see Tank losing a fight against a smaller fighter. But nowadays, I don't know what's going to happen in boxing, bro. I mean, you'll be surprised at the shit that happens. But it's going to be a good fight because Leo Santa Cruz is going to bring the fight, and Gervonta is going to, you know, hold his ground. So it's going to be a good fight. Whatever happens, I'll be happy. Yeah, Tank started at 126. He did. But remember, Leo Santa Cruz was a 122-pounder. I mean, if you start moving up in divisions, your power is not the same. You know, there's been a few fighters out there that keep moving up in divisions and maintain the power. Tyson and Roy Jones. If Mike Tyson don't knock out Roy Jones in the first round and he gets tired because of his age, I think Roy Jones will box him around. Remember, at that age, punches hurt more. They do more damage. They're not young anymore. There's Bobby Jones, Bobby Mov, the champ. Sparring today, okay? Obviamente, personalmente, mucha gente quiere que gane Leo. Let me tell you something, Daniel. The business of the sport is this. Leo Santa Cruz is a more attractive fighter for the business of the sport. Simple as that. Who do I got on my pound-for-pound list? Terence Crawford, all the way. Saludos a la gente de España. José Baena, Crespin, saludos. Yeah, Mike Tyson will beat the shit out of Roy Jones. I mean, he's a heavyweight, and he has a lot of power. But I just think that age is a factor now. I mean, punches hurt more at that age. I mean, but I just think that if Roy Jones can avoid those big shots in the early rounds and Mike Tyson gets tired, I mean, Roy Jones can pull it off just by moving around, hitting and moving. What do you think, Manny? What's your opinion? Mike Tyson, Roy Jones?
I want Mike Tyson to win, but...
Oh, yeah, of course, everybody.
That is true. The old age,
yeah.
punches hurt more. Hell yeah.
Saludos a mi amigo Alex. Yeah. Saludos a mi amigo Alex Rivera, Puerto Rico, toda la gente de Puerto Rico. Vamos a tener el día 30 de octubre, aquí en Fantasy Springs, una gran pelea. Rashidi Alice versus Alexis Rocha. Would you advise Leo to box more against Tank? Look, Fight Hype. Leo's not a boxer. Leo's just a forward fighter, and he's consistent. If Tank has problems making weight because he's always undisciplined and he's not 100%, Leo will wear him out. By the 4th, 5th round, with his pressure, he'll wear him out. The real, yes, of course. Mike Tyson still hits. That's the question. But when he gets hit, I mean, of course, I mean, there's a lot of people that can still fucking punch. But when they take a punch, how are they going to react? Un saludo para mi papá. Un saludo para José Garrido Paredes y Andrea Emperatriz Sánchez en La Molina, Perú. Gracias, un saludo. Te mando un fuerte abrazo a toda la gente. Tank going to knock out Leo out in 8. It could happen because, I mean, believe me, I won't doubt it because Tank is a bigger boy. He's bigger. He hits. He can box. Bobby Jones, salam alaikum. Yeah, I mean, if you really look at it, stylistically, statistics of boxing, Tank is the bigger fighter. He hits harder. He's a bigger boy. I mean, if he catches Leo with a good shot, he could hurt him because he's bigger, he's stronger. After the weigh-ins, he's gonna rehydrate and he's gonna be big.
How do you guys foresee Tank versus Leo Santa Cruz?
Well, that's an interesting fight. It's all, I think everything's gonna resume on how in shape Tank is. I think the stronger guy of those two is Tank, and the the guy with most conditioning out there, I think, is Leo Santa Cruz. So it all gonna resume to how in shape Tank is. If he can handle like the volume of Leo Santa Cruz, because he have crazy volume of punches.
He does.
And he can take a punch.
Yeah,
so
that's the key.
That's gonna be the key.
Doesn't matter how good the guy's power is, if you can take a hell of a punch, you're still going to be there.
Leo Santa Cruz and Gervonta Davis. Right? We're not sure if it's going to take place at 30 or 35, but Leo just moved up and Tank moved up. A lot of people think that this is a mismatch. How do you see that fight?
Leo Santa Cruz is not somebody to sleep on. You know, throws a lot of punches. He proved his position in boxing, you know. But I'm gonna go with Tank. I'm gonna go with Tank, man. Tank's an animal. You know, again, I don't know how his camp's going. So I don't know if there's any change. I know that he recently went to Vegas to go work over there, and that's cool. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with that. But in reality, if we only discuss his performance, not using Gamboa, but just him as the overall fighter, Tank got a lot of nice tools, man. He's fast. He's very defensive. You know, he got crazy power in both hands. He's an explosive fighter, and he's very entertaining. So I'm gonna go with Tank, man. I will put Tank over a lot of people in his weight class. A lot of people, just because he has all the right tools to be much greater than what he is, and he's still got so much more to grow. You know, he's definitely going to be a force. He's like a little Tyson. He's a Tyson in the way it is. You know, whatever way he decides to fight.
He's had issues making weight. Do you feel like that's a testament to him fighting at a small class?
That has to do with two things. All right, you have to. Two people have to be responsible for it, either his strength coach or himself. Reason why that is it's an equivalent to when football. You know, I'm a fan of the Eagles, right? So if the Eagles lose, we blame either certain players or we blame the coach. That's just the way that it goes, right? But when they win, they're the greatest team of all time. You know what I'm saying? So it's somebody's got to be held responsible. So if his strength coach is doing everything he's supposed to, but Davis is doing other things and he's not reporting it, or he's not being as disciplined enough, then you can't blame anybody but Davis. You know what I mean? So I don't know what the communication's like between him and his coaches. I don't know what he does outside of the gym. I have never seen him in camp. So I would say some sorts of adjustments have to be made, you know, because it's very unprofessional to lose the title at your caliber on a scale. You're a professional. You know, you're supposed to come in at a certain way. You know what the contract said. So you should be on point, you know. A lot of guys that I work with, they're on weight 2 days before the fight. So that's easy work. But it all depends on the person, how he is as a person. And if it works for him, it works for him. You know, there's nothing like I like Davis. I like Davis a lot. I would like to work with Davis, but I don't know. It all depends. It all depends on what's his routine like.
How many fighters you have? I have a lot of fighters, maybe close to 30. Mikey versus Teofimo, I would love to, but I don't know if Mikey's gonna fight again. Davis versus Santa Cruz, I still give Santa Cruz a chance, man.